Today, I'm going to watch through TimTheTatman's Warzone kill record video and provide my aim analysis live over it to see what we can find. And before we start, let me just warn you that there's a reason why I script out all of my videos. I'm not great at articulating my thoughts into words on the spot. My brain just moves too fast for my mouth. I did try my best here, and it is a skill I'm trying to improve on. Ooh, that's a nice frame. Alright, let's get into it, see how well TimTheTatman can aim. So the video is 13 minutes long, so I'm guessing it is already edited. Yep, okay. That gives us something to talk about. Right, let me go back a couple of frames. So it did look a little sluggish. I'm guessing at about this frame, it looks like there's an enemy. So let's see how many frames it takes for him to, I guess, flick over. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so on the 14th frame, starts moving over. This is a 60 FPS video, so that's about 230 milliseconds, give or take another 16 either side. Which, I mean, it's around average. I think he's probably capable of a bit better if he was actually, I guess, locked in. So misses the first shots, adjusts over, and then flicks pretty far. I think that's a habit a lot of people get into, is especially when tracking like AD strafing targets. So up here, he sees the target moves over, and by the time he, I guess, reacts and realizes the target's moving, he flicks. And what that means is he's missing out all the shots when the target is just moving to the side. And what can happen, say this target didn't leave, if that target then strafed back the other way, he's just flicked over, now he realizes the target is moving to the left, then he flicks all the way to the right, and you get into this cycle where you're just flicking left and right and not actually landing shots. So, oh, I've gone a bit too far there. So I think really he wants to tighten that up a bit, be a bit more smooth in his transitions. And that's, okay, that's a great example of aim here. At the same time, it's difficult because this is quite an off angle, right? Timmy's aiming over here. He needs to get his crosshair all the way up here at this off angle pretty quickly. But at the same time, it's one of the easiest things to aim at in the sense that this person has jumped off the roof and they're now locked into a trajectory. They're going to fall down in this path, and as you can see, it's pretty easy to trace your mouse. And as we watch, that's exactly what happens. The dude is falling in a very simple pattern, or trajectory. And he didn't hit any shots during that time, so I think it's just, yeah, a bit sluggish. He needs to be a bit more, I guess, alert and switched on. But to be fair, he did say that he's very low energy this stream. He's not feeling well or he's sick, so we can cut him some slack. And honestly, look, right now, one of the things that irks me about Call of Duty is how hard it is to see what you're aiming at or where you're aiming. Like right now, I'm assuming the bullets will come out in the center of the crosshair, but it's not really clear. I mean, it could come out in the center of this one. I don't know. Like iron sights, yeah, it looks like it comes out of that thing, but it's tricky to see. So here we have again. So the guy strafed left, and Timmy realizes and then flicked way over here. So I'll be curious if he flicks again. I kind of, okay, so he sort of under aims that actually. And then he flicks a bit to the right, flicks to the left, but that was actually on point. Flicks to the right, flicks to the left, flicks to the right. Gets the kill, but that actually shows exactly what I was talking about, where he's not really reading this enemy's movement. And honestly, especially in a game like Call of Duty where movement speed is pretty slow, he could kind of just keep his crosshair centered and have pretty much the same, or actually a better result, right? If he just kept, see where we are, the steps end about here. So he's pretty much right at the end of the steps. Let's see where this guy moves. So he's at the end of the steps. End of the steps. So he could have kept his crosshair centered and he probably would have landed more shots rather than just flicking left, right, left, right. I mean, best case scenario is you're reading the movement and you're following that pattern smoothly. But unfortunately, yeah, Timmy's sort of stuck in this. Not necessarily over aiming because he did under aim at one section, but this habit of just flicking left, right every time he sort of reacts to a change in the enemy's position, where he wants to smooth that motion out. I mean, lands a nice shot there. Okay, he sees the guys on the left. Let's see how well he swings. It's not too bad. Let's check that again. So what I found sort of interesting here is that I think Timmy aimed off a bit to the right. And generally it would make most sense in this situation. You would assume this player is going to stick closer to the cover, so this wall. So chances are he's going to either use this wall to peek, but he's getting shot at, so he's probably going to, you know, run around it for cover. But at the same time, he is kind of... Let me go back a couple of frames. Yeah, so he is angled out this way. So I can see how just instinctively you would see this and be like, okay, this guy's running out this way. So Timmy aims at him. Yeah, he does move off to the right and then realizes he's heading to the wall and adjusts. So basically the same story really, yeah, just not totally locked in and focused. Oh, I just need a moment to catch my breath. The video, I didn't expect the video to already be edited. So there's very little downtime between these clips. So he's vaulting up here. The guy's not looking at him right now. And let's reference his position. So he's just to the left of this box thing. So here we go. Aims a long way out to the right. I mean, that was not too bad, right? Honestly, I think that was fine. What happens here with the overaim at the start is he sees the guy. Look at this. They're pretty clear body movements too. It looks like he's about to run off this way. It doesn't really look like he's looking at Timmy. Maybe the guy doesn't know he's there, if like from Timmy's perspective. And so we see Timmy aim. Yeah, basically he aims as if the target is running that way, which is fine. Honestly, I think many people would do the same thing. But now we know this dude's facing him, and he does flick back, over flicks, or over aims. Gets the ADS up, and I think he reads that movement pretty well. Like he just smoothly tracked, he wasn't going left or right or anything, and gets a good kill. First shot was pretty nice. Let's see how much info they give us. Alright, so he zoomed in, he's a bit off target. Yeah, lines it up. I mean, look at that crosshair sway. Like, man, I guess it's saying hold shift to focus, so we must have some breath left, or however that works. Guess you just need to use that there. This crosshair is a bit low. I think this is a habit a lot of people get into. Probably doesn't help when there's ground loot too, but take a look at his crosshair. So he's looking into the road. Especially here, he's looking at the floor. Yeah, there's loot, sure. But even over here, looking at the floor, still looking at the floor. And the issue with that is, let's say someone just came through that door. He now has to aim at this off angle, which is going to take some time. Well, the issue with it being off angled is that he might miss. He might move his crosshair over here and then have to adjust, or over here and have to adjust, which takes more time and gives this imaginary opponent more time to kill him. Whereas what he probably should be doing is keeping his crosshair at either body or head level and keeping it placed where enemies are most likely to be. I guess I don't know the exact context of this situation. Maybe it's like they definitely know they're alone, there's no one here. But in general, it's a good habit to stick to, even if you don't need it at that exact moment. I should also mention that I think it would be hard to stay so locked in when you're in such a high energy group. You know, everyone's just yelling and screaming. Oh, here we have some controller gameplay. I hadn't expected to see other people's perspectives, but wait, did that land? So he calls it. No scope the guy in the head. Wow, he actually lands it. I can't really tell if that was a headshot or not, but either way, that was pretty sick. I guess this is a Timmy and Friends analysis now. Is Timmy dead? No. Ooh, okay. That was cool. Let's see. How much info can they... I'll go back another 5. I'm curious how much info Timmy has for the cut. Alright, so he's just looked here. So he's on the same page as us. Is that the enemy? Yeah, so he sees a glint. Sees the guy moving. Zooms in. Okay, I actually really like what he's done here. So for a bunch of frames, his crosshair is totally still, and I'm a big fan of this, because what it lets us do is we know where our crosshair is, and we can then also judge the position of our target, so he'll probably do that here. So mentally he's like, okay, my crosshair's here, my target's here, this is how far I need to flick. Lines it up. I don't know if that's desync or what. It kind of looks like it oh, actually, it probably just goes through the body in Call of Duty. Yeah, so that's a really nice flick there. So what can happen? I'll go back again. I'll show you what can happen. So if you don't do this, you do have some other options. So this guy isn't watching. So Tim has the time, right? Or you have the time if you're in this situation. You can try and track and lead the shot, which works totally fine. It does not work so well if the person is aware and is a bit more evasive. And what can also happen is if you're moving your crosshair while you're doing the flick, if you're not careful to move it very gradually and deliberately, you lose that sense of where your crosshair is. So when you go to make a flick shot, if you don't know where your target is and your crosshair is, you can't make an informed decision about how far to move your mouse. So it just becomes a bit more random when you don't have a good grasp of the variables. So yeah, that was awesome. Alright, give me a second. Water break. I guess I can breathe a bit when these other guys are on stream, or on screen. Oh, don't like to see that. That's stressful. Yeah, that sucks. Getting caught in animations is... it's just the worst. Actually, wait, what did he say there?
I should have just turned it far when he was that close to me. That was a bot play.
That is a great reaction. Instantly saying like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, is an awesome way to just improve over time. If you just die and don't think about it at all, you can get into this trap of where you just don't improve anymore. I have a whole video on that. I don't want to get too off topic. This is mainly about aim, so I'll leave it at that. Ah, Timmy. I think he was doing is flick left and right again. So he sees the guy, flicks it like that. That's great. He's landed right on the basically the head, neck. This is awesome. He just needs to start shooting. But I guess his own movement carries the crosshair off. Doesn't really look like he's moving his crosshair. And now I'm guessing, yeah, he flicks back over. He's on target. Just needs to stay there. Which he did, but I guess he'd already lost too much damage. So I wonder why he didn't move his crosshair. He's on target. Oh, I need to go back a bit further. Okay. Flicks over. I guess he just thought the guy was going to keep moving. Like in that situation earlier. You see someone, you see their body position, they're moving a certain way. You kind of just expect them to keep doing it. But it's a bad habit if the target sees you. Because they're going to be doing the same thing as you. They'll have the same game plan. It's like, okay, I see the enemy, I stop moving and start shooting. It's not as dramatic in Call of Duty. It's more of something you'd seen like Counter-Strike, where you have to stay still to shoot. But I think it's reasonable to expect this guy to not just keep swinging out wide. But I don't know. I can't blame him too much on that. His flick was good, just didn't quite keep it on target. Alright, so we have controller. I mean, that is I don't get too caught up on it. This is a Timmy video. So he gets the crosshair in the same area, and then I'm guessing basically his finger is off the right stick, and now it's just moving. He just moves with it, which technically you could do with the mouse. You'd have to still control for recoil, but man, it does look so clean. He just... Was that a Timmy skin? He's... Okay, we have another, like, you know, jumping trajectory situation, which gets a better handle and still not perfect. And that's Timmy. He has his own skin. Alright, that's pretty cool. So, okay, why isn't he getting these tracks? Sees the guy up here. Sees him jump. Actually, let's watch his hand. So it's already... I mean, it's already pretty angled, like, down this way, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty awkward. I mean, he has to pull his mouse all the way down. You know what? He is gripping the mouse pretty much the same way I do. Look, this is hard to see under everything, but it doesn't look like his thumb knuckle is in contact necessarily. But what he's doing is his mouse is quite skewed. And if you ever wondered why I'm a big fan of fixing your sensor orientation, this is why. Look at what he has to do to aim to the left. So in this situation, right, he has to aim to the left and down. But because his mouse is already skewed, look at that. He has to rip his arm, well, rip, strong word, but he has to pull his whole arm backwards and drag the mouse at an angle down. And when you fix your sensor orientation through like RawXL or something, what you do is you free up your range of motion. I'm trying to think how I can quickly describe this. Basically, I really didn't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. Bear with me. Okay, I didn't want to stop and do other stuff, but I couldn't think of a better way to explain this. But so in RawXL, right, I've got my rotation changed by minus 11.7 degrees. So what this is doing is, like if I move my mouse left and right, you know, it's a pretty straight line. Now, if I were to disable that, I'll just go to 0. And now I move my mouse left and right. Look at that. Because I'm holding the mouse sort of askew in my hand. And what that means is if I want to aim, where am I? To the left and down, I can't really use my wrist. Like, look at that. That's me trying to turn my wrist to the left. But if I want to aim to, say, the right and down, I can use my wrist. So the whole point of, you know, fixing your sensor orientation is that you free up and, I guess, balance your mouse. Well, you free up and balance your range of motion. So instead of having to, I guess, pull down my arm to the left and then use my wrist for the right, I can use a bit of wrist, a bit of arm, like for both, right? It's balanced. And yeah, so at least as far as I can tell, he's definitely holding it askew. And I think that's, yeah, it's why that's kind of tricky.
Did you call Lodian? Swag, what are you doing, bro?
I'm chill. This guy's in front of me. Shoot me, Tim.
You just got all the money and you just ran away.
Could you imagine how hard it must be to focus in lobbies? Like, it must be fun, like having so much energy, but man.
Thank you for baiting me. 60,000 racks and you don't buy a Lodi or anything?
So he's got his loadout now. So these are the two weapons he wants to have, like his absolute ideal. So I'll be curious to see what he's got. So he's got a sniper. There's some nice shots. Oh, why? I mean, look at this. Look where his crosshair is compared to the scope. I'm really not a fan of that kind of realism or whatever in modern games. It just gets in the way of gameplay. There are better ways to balance snipers. So he knows there's a guy in a car behind him. But I guess because he's on the roof, he doesn't have to worry. Alright, lands 2 shots there? Doesn't kill though. So what's our problem here? It's not a headshot. Upper body shot. Second shot. Yeah, body again. I mean, obviously, when you're using bolt action snipers, you are highly incentivized to go for headshots. But, I mean, look how much that crosshair is swaying. I mean, he has the option to... Okay, he does it here. And that brings it back to center, which... I think that kind of screwed him, right? How many frames back do I have to go? So it's swinging up. So for him, it's at the shoulder height. So I'm assuming he's going to move his crosshair up a little more. We can kind of reference where the scope is relative to the building. So he starts to breathe, which brings the crosshair back down. Ah, he didn't really move it. Nah. I just didn't quite aim high enough.
Like I said, nice shots. So I hear that first time for everything.
Nice glazing.
Another body.
Thing is, when don't I hit nice shots, Jamie?
Use a Cronus.
That's pretty full on, that sway. So we get the first shot. So what was the problem here? Either I don't know if his weapon was ready to shoot, so we either shot too late or just didn't quite lead it enough. But man, that crosshair sway. I mean, did his best. Got close.
When don't I hit nice shots, Jamie?
Use a Cronus, so it's not very difficult. There's a team in here.
I do not. I do not. Okay, if I use a Cronus, what script do I use in? 10?
I didn't even know that Cronus had scripts.
No,
to be
Cronus had
honest,
scripts.
so
What the fuck?
Sprung.
just kind of expose yourself. Reverse card.
Okay. Oh, miss. Ah, that would have been pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Alright, let's quickly check that. So his teammate is already shooting at a guy in here. I mean, I guess it's fine, it's 2v1, but swinging in front of where the guy is already shooting is kind of asking for trouble. Alright, the snipe. So, okay, here we have the crosshair placement problem. Look how low his crosshair is placed. And now he has to aim up. Okay, it wasn't super low, but it was still in the floor. And now he has to aim up. Ah, it's close. Did he not get a hit marker for that? Let's go back. Enhance. It looks like he's just shot. Unless he's shot on this frame or something. I guess he must have shot a little too late. I mean, there's no way he lands a follow-up, right, with all the aim punch. I think he just clicked a bit too soon on that one. Right, he does hoon in. What did he see? Is it that bush? I don't know. Unless he started pre-firing his teammate before realizing it was a teammate? Okay, yes. The decision, does he thirst this guy? Or does he shoot at the guy jumping and locked into a trajectory? He goes for the thirst. That's kind of funny. I wonder what made him do that. So his instinct there was to take the easy shot, I guess. I guess that's what we're weighing up. Do I go for the easy shot or the harder shot? That wasn't bad. So what happened here? Sees a guy. I honestly thought it was his teammate with the nameplate up there. I wonder if he thought the same. No, straight into it. So this guy's jumping, locked into a trajectory, and I think, yeah, Timmy had a pretty good read on that one. Crosshair is in the floor again, though. Not, what is going on here? Where are these people coming from? Oh, that sucks. Oh, the dude's just in a corner. Alright, so I guess we skipped ahead to them being revived or recalled in, or whatever it's called. Redeployed. Oh, that sucks. We have a gulag though. Alright, what do we got? Alright, that was, I mean, he was in the dude's head. I don't think this guy fired a single shot. That was really nice. I'm not really sure what else he could have done better. It was great. Maybe pre-fire a little sooner. But, I mean, if he runs out of bullets, then maybe he's kind of screwed it. I don't know. That was really well done. Good read.
Too much movement there, Samuel. Camos, bro. This goes crazy.
I need platage.
Go buy an armor box, bro.
They're all there.
Oh, man. How do you focus?
Hey, there's a cluster mine on it. What is going on?
Jeez, this is nuts. What is even happening here?
Oh, it's down. Another tag. Precision.
Oh. I mean, that kind of sucked. He did swing a bit wide. So he kind of pulls away from the car, loses his cover. I mean, he was probably dead anyway, but that's tough. It's been a tough past few minutes for him. Let's back up. Oh no, this is Cloxy.
Another one shot. I down 2.
Actually, I don't want to... I mean, this is meant to be a Tim video, but... Look here. And we don't have many pixels to work with, but he's shooting the guy, and he makes a... I can't even tell. Wait, let's go back a little bit. Where is the guy? Okay, so he's shooting this guy. The dude strafes right, and he must realize, does a small flick back onto target. And now, he has fallen off a bit, but I think he can see, and he kind of just knows that this guy needs to strafe back into cover. Yeah, and he tracks that really nicely. So instead of just going left, right, you know, he read the movement, he knew where the guy was going, and he smoothly tracked it.
I down 2. Thank you.
Is that a headshot? Oh, that was. Okay, so it will tell me. So what's his issue? He just didn't quite line it up enough. I mean, that should be an easy headshot. I guess the guy was low enough for a body, so it's fine.
Thank you.
What? That guy, I think that guy crouched into the headshot. That sucks.
Thank you.
Alright, let's see. Frame by frame. So Timmy does not have much time. So I guess that's why he doesn't really adjust. Moves up a bit. Takes the shot. And the dude slides in. Oh, that sucks. So if that guy just ran, I mean, its body shot would probably be fine. But he happened to slide into it, which put his head into Timmy's crosshair. And he dies insta.
In this window, bro. Watch this, bro.
Ooh, surprised that worked. I mean, what can he even see? There's got people everywhere. What's he do? Oh, he doesn't jump. Playing the stairs in the smoke. That looks like some kind of mine. Yep. Goes back up. Okay, so he doesn't get a hit marker, so you'd kind of assume no one's in this room. Which I don't think they are. I think that was just the gas, right? What is going on? Dude takes a swan dive. Does he have time to reload? That was nuts. I don't even... That was very hard to follow. Look at that guy. Alright, so he gets tagged. Sees the traces. He pre-fires. That's good. He is aiming at the edge of this thing, which kind of sucks. But this dude just takes a dive in. He adjusts pretty well. I mean, he probably could have taken some easy headshot. I don't even know where the guy is going. There's another trait. Is there another enemy up there or something? Yeah, UAV's showing some. I guess there must be someone up there. That was a pretty crazy sequence. I'm surprised he got out totally unscathed. Yep, good kill.
You guys go, bro.
Ah, that. So why did he lose that? He's full health, full armor. Misses the first few shots. He lands the first shot. Oh, he lost about 3 or 4 shots falling there. Lost some to the bounce. Okay, it looked better in full speed, I guess, because the like the lifetime of the hit marker made it look like he was hitting more shots. But so if we just imagine we swap this scenario around. Imagine we're playing from this dude's perspective. We've just seen Timmy, or just this guy, like jump out of like what was he, on a window or a ledge or something, straight. So you have to do very little aiming. That person is stuck into a trajectory. They're just going to slowly fall down your screen. So you basically don't even have to aim. You get that crosshair on point. You may have to lower it slowly, and you're going to land every shot. Okay, yes, so he does jump out the window. He's stuck in this trajectory. This dude sees him. And I don't think he misses a single shot, which you probably shouldn't in that kind of situation. Oh. Okay, I just went through all that, but we do have a kill cam. So we get to see exactly what happened. Look at that. Jumps out the window. Yeah, just has to pull down a little. Thanks, Tim. And he's just blasting headshots in. I mean, super easy from this guy's perspective, which is why he lost that trade. Tim could have won it because he shot first, but he had to have a good sense of what that jump and even landing was going to do to his crosshair, which he didn't quite account for. His low crosshair is definitely something you could work on. So they have some kind of... Wow, this was nice. His team's getting a lot of kills. Timmy needs, what, one more? How many are left? Well, there were there's like 2 left somewhere. Was that a person, or was that like a device that he shot? Ooh, we have some controversy. What's he doing? Wait, so he needs to get this kill, letting the guy res, then he seems turned his back. A decent aim when he actually decides to do it. I'm not sure why he's turned his back there. From watching this game, and I get that it's only one single game picked out of thousands, I still think we can formulate a decent picture of what his aiming ability is like. First and foremost, for keyboard and mouse, it's good, but I think he is capable of playing much better with a simple change in mindset. He doesn't have to do anything, he's doing his own thing and doing it very well. My thing is aim, so that's what I'm looking at. The main thing I see holding him back is a lack of intensity or purpose in his gameplay. Much of it looks quite sluggish and a bit lazy. The fundamentals are still there, but he's not really trying too hard. In my opinion, this likely comes down to his streaming persona. He is trying to entertain people with his commentary, reactions, and humor. He only needs to be good enough or to aim well enough to not be dead all the time. Anything above that is a bonus. Plus, he is often playing with very good players who can provide so much output and serve as a safety net for any of Tim's mistakes that it's easy for him to slip into autopilot. Also, when you're streaming and playing pretty much all day, every day, and it isn't essential to your brand to continually improve, it must be very easy to fall into bad habits like the left-right flicking instead of tracking and relying on instinct to determine where an enemy is moving, rather than applying context to the situation. And there we have it. If you made it this far, you're a legend. Let me know what you think about this format, what I could improve on, who you'd like to see next, or even just tell me to stick to scripted videos. If you haven't already, you can check out the Clawmate mouse mod I designed over at struthgaminggear.com. Thanks so much for watching, be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.